Thanksgiving is a secular federal holiday celebrated on the 4th November across the US, Canada, and other parts of the world. In modern times, the holiday commemorates family with the common tradition of people gathering around the dinner table to give thanks for all they have in life with a celebratory feast. The origins of Thanksgiving, however, differ from what we know today. You see, it all started in September 1620 when the first colonists, who we know as the Pilgrims, left a town called Plymouth, England. 102 passengers hopped aboard a ship called the Mayflower to the New World in hopes of religious separation. After 66 days at sea, they eventually arrived in North America, but they overshot their destination, which led to another month of sailing until they finally reached Massachusetts Bay, where they would colonize one of the first settlements called Plymouth, named after the original home. Because of their miscalculation, the brutal winter hit and they were forced to stay on the ship. Only half the passengers would make it to see spring, as many of them died of disease and scurvy. In March, they began to set on land, where they'd first meet the Native Americans. Squanto, a member of the Patuxet tribe who had been previously wronged by the English, ironically taught the Pilgrims how to live in North America and helped them establish an alliance with the nearby Wampanoag tribe. In November 1621, after a successful corn harvest, Governor William Bradford organized a large feast to celebrate their fortune. They ate duck and geese they had hunted, and corn and squash they had grown. The Wampanoag tribe heard of their celebration and arrived at Plymouth with venison and seafood, greeted with open arms. This would be the first Thanksgiving. Since then, Thanksgiving has had numerous changes in recognition and tradition. The U.S. first announced it when the Constitution was written, but it lost favor in 1798 when Congress left Thanksgiving declarations to the states. Over time, politics and religion turned Thanksgiving into a controversy over whether it should be celebrated or not. It wasn't until November 26, 1863, when President Abraham Lincoln proclaimed that Thanksgiving is a national holiday. That precedent has been kept for years, except for Franklin D. Roosevelt's term, when he tried to move up the holiday to extend the Christmas season, but this wouldn't catch on. Since the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag people, Thanksgiving has changed drastically, with immigrants coming to the U.S. and bringing new cultures to change the traditions. With some people still taking a traditional approach, others bring new food to the table and add a cultural spin. After over 400 years, Thanksgiving isn't the holiday it once was, and here are some students to prove it.
So for Thanksgiving, me and my family, we always watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and then I go help my grandma make pumpkin pie, pecan pie, and then we all sit down and before we eat, go around the table and say what we're thankful for this year.
My family for Thanksgiving normally cooks a traditional turkey with sweet potatoes and normal potatoes, but we also cook some Persian rice dishes like shirin polo, which is orange rind rice with rose hips and walnuts and carrots, and it adds some of culture from both sides of my family.
My favorite thing to do on Thanksgiving is to cook with my mom and my sisters, and then we eat the food. I like to make deviled eggs. That's my favorite Thanksgiving food. And the candied yams. I'm a big candied yams girl. And I also like to make the mac and cheese and a fun little pecan pie.
For Thanksgiving, my family and I, we watch the Macy's parade, and then I help my mom cook, and we make turkey, mashed potatoes, collard greens, and I was gonna make baked mac and cheese this year, and we invite my grandparents over to eat with us.